But I killed this bitch. And what I wanted to say was, hi guys, it has been a hot minute since I've been on this channel. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you are one of my subscribers, you know I haven't uploaded this whole year, so like 5 months. I'm back. So today I want to talk about plants. So if you're not interested in plants, why the fuck did you click on this? I want to talk about how you can stop killing plants. So if you keep killing plants, this is for you. You need this video. If you don't kill plants and you know someone that's a little gummy and they keep killing plants, you know that, send it to them. Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie, I had that intro in my head and it was a little cool. Should I try again? Anyway, I have like 5 tips that I really wanted to hear when I started collecting plants, enriching my life with plants, because like it really makes you happy. Seeing the green like really does something to you. I watched like dozens and dozens and dozens of videos, and I feel like I plucked something from every single video, but there was not like one video that had all the tips that were like important for me. So I collected like 5 tips that I have for you right now that I would have loved to hear when I started. The first thing that I want to talk about is why most plants die. Most plants die because we get a new plant and we're like, okay, I need to take care of it. What does it need? Water, water, water.
Water. Water. Water. Water.
Like we really overwater them or we underwater them. Like I feel like they are just like these 2 extremes, like in the beginning. There's no in between. You either like nurture them way too much or you like forget about them for like 3 weeks and you're like, oh shit, I had a plant, and it's like a pile of dust at that point. So the most important thing about overwatering, in my opinion, is that you only need to water when the top area of the soil is dry. So when you stick your finger in there and it's like wet, don't water it. You can also like grab the plant and like lift it a little, like out of the decorative part, or like the what is it called? The saucer. When you lift it from the saucer. So this is a peace lily, and as you can tell, it's like well watered. Like all of these leaves are like perking up, and when it's not watered, well, I guess it could need a little more water, but when it's like completely dry, all of these will like droop, and you can tell like it looks like it's dying, but once it gets water, it all like perks up in a couple hours. This actually needs water. This is really, really good when you don't know how to water your plants. Like the peace lily, love it. This one doesn't bloom. I heard that very often they don't bloom anymore when you have them, but I think it's still pretty. Normally it has like really beautiful white flowers, but this one doesn't. This one is actually a plant that I would highly recommend if you like start out with plants. I think this was one of my first ones too. It's like ride or die. Like I overwatered this bitch, I underwatered this bitch, and it's still here. Like she is really with you for the long run. So one way to water is that you drench the soil completely. Like you let water run through. Once should be fine. Like once it's like coming out at the bottom and this is like really heavy, it's like all wet, the soil is all drenched, you can like leave it for another week and then like get it back and then water it again when it like obviously gets dry again. Or another method that you can do instead of like drenching all the soil is you can fill the saucer up with water, and then the plant soaks it up and like drinks as much as it needs. And if it drinks it all, you like pull the saucer full again. You do that until it doesn't drink it all up anymore, and then you just like, if it's like sitting in water for like, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes, then you just pour it away. Don't let it sit in water for too long or you will get root rot. That is like the most important thing. Like don't let it dry out way too much, and don't let it sit in water for too long. But overwatering is always way worse than underwatering, because if you overwater it, it will get root rot and the bitch dies. So if you underwater it, most plants will be fine. They will be okay, they will bounce back. Another great thing about bottom watering is that you don't get fungus gnats. Fungus gnats are these like small little annoying flies, and you don't get them when you bottom water, because they lay their eggs in the topsoil, and the topsoil doesn't really get wet, so it's like harder for fungus gnats to breed in there and grow. That's good. Okay, the next tip is to take 10 minutes and research about the plant that you want to get. If you have one plant that you really want to get, for me it's like this bird of paradise. I have a skew in there because it's like kind of tilted. For me it was this bird of paradise, and I think I got this 3 years ago when it was like this big and had like 5 leaves or something. You have to take those 10 minutes and figure out if you have the right conditions for it. If it needs full sun, this for example needs full sun. Do you have a window that's south-facing or west-facing? If you don't have that, you are better off getting a low-light plant. For example, this Monstera Adansonii. You just need to know, does it need a lot of light? Does it need low light? No plant is really like 100% low light, but they can tolerate lower light, and low light means they cannot tolerate direct sunlight mostly. So I have a perfect example. This is a begonia, and as you can tell, let's do a thumbnail real quick. This is a perfect example. This begonia was in this room before, and like all the leaves are like super bleached and have no color at all because it had too much light. There was too much direct sunlight in here, and then like I had it in another corner and it was like too little sunlight, I feel like. So now I have it in the perfect spot, and that is where these 4 really bright new leaves are coming in. That is how the plant looked when I had it in here. It started looking like that a month later, and I was like, ooh, child, I fucked up. But we're back, so that's great. That's also really good about plants. It's like one of my favorite things. Like, you can mostly recover and bounce back. So once you have the right location for it, which is the key, then the plant will bounce back. But what's even better than doing that, what I did, is to figure out what the perfect conditions are right away. Does it need a lot of water? Does it need not as much water? Does it like to dry out? Does it like to be consistently wet? All of these things are different to different plants. My third tip is to not take the plant out of the nursery pot. This is the nursery pot with the holes at the bottom. Don't take it out of this. You don't have to have it in a saucer like this, but you can put it in a decorative pot, but don't put it out of the nursery pot, because then the excess water can't run off and you will instantly get root rot. I had my first peace lily in a decorative pot because I was like, yeah, I'm that bitch. I can definitely control that, and I could not. And
I was pouring half a bottle of fertilizer on it and I completely burned it.
why did I do that? I don't know, I thought I knew what I was doing. It clearly said different instructions on the bottle, but I was like, oh, I don't know, how old was I? I don't know, I feel like it was like 5, 6, 7 years ago. I have no clue. But I thought it was a shit, and I knew what I was doing, and I clearly burnt the fucking plant and then threw it in the trash a week later. So if you use fertilizer, definitely follow the instructions on the bottle. So don't take it out of the nursery pot is what we get from this. You can put it in a decorative pot, but don't take it out of the nursery pot. And my fourth tip is something that we already kind of talked about. Different plants need different things. If you tend to overwater, you might be better off with an alocasia. This is an alocasia zebrina. Girl, look at me knowing these names, honey. They're really, girl, I need to water that too. What the hell? They like to be more moist. Ew. They like to be watered more. So if you tend to overwater, maybe an alocasia would be great for you. If you tend to underwater, maybe you should get a cactus or some, God, what are these bitches called? Succulents. I hate those fuckers. Succulents and cactuses, cacti. I hate them. I hate them. Because I tend to overwater, and if I underwater them, girl, the plant dies and that's it. If I kill a plant, I will probably not rebuy it. I don't know why I rebought the peace lily, but I did, and that's the only one I actually kind of rebought. I do kill plants, it still happens, but not very often, and then it happens because I don't know, I think I completely forget about them. Like one plant, like a small baby plant, I put on a shelf and I just literally forgot about it. And then like 4 weeks later, I was like, oh, Wait, I still have that. Oh my god. So, this, oh my god, I think you can tell a little. That red thing, can you see that? Hello? Who the fuck do you think you're talking to? Oh my god, can we focus on that? I guess not. This is, a mosaic plant, and this was like red. So, obviously it's a pile of garbage right now, because I forgot about it for like 5 weeks. But I have like 3 new ones of those that are propagating right now, which is also in my last tip. Girl, I'm talking way too much. But I killed this bitch. And what I wanted to say was... Oh, what I wanted to say was if I don't water them weekly, for example, like succulents or like cacti, I forget about them and then I kill them. So all my plants I basically water like once a week. Some of them like... I think this monstera I water like every 3 weeks because the bitch is big. And same for the bird of paradise. Yeah, they don't need that much water because they're in like really, really big pots. Like if the pot is bigger and there's like more soil, you don't need to water it as often. So this bitch needed a lot of water and a lot of attention very frequently, and I forgot about it. And I didn't really care for it, but now I have like 3 new ones propagating from a friend of mine, so work. I guess I could give you a bonus tip. So this bitch is way too big for this little pot, but the roots are not coming out yet. And you don't have to repot it until it's like root bound. And I think I will check on it in a little while, but she was like this big when I got her, and she really bloomed. She really bloomed. I have no idea what this is. I always think it's like, I don't know, it looks like really neon bright. I love the colors. I always think it's like a lemon tree or something. It's obviously not a tree. I think it's like something lemony, but it's not. Doesn't smell like anything. Maybe it's poisonous, I have no clue. So you don't even have to know about every single plant. If you bottom water them, it's like really easy. I bottom water all of my plants. Yeah, but like small containers, plants in small containers need more water, but you don't have to repot it until it's like really root bound. The roots don't always come out, so you could like pull it out and check. I'm not gonna do that right now, but there's also another way to check if the plant is root bound or not, and if it's not, you don't need to repot it. And if you buy it from the store, you probably most likely do not need to repot it for a while if it doesn't have any pests or something. You should always check for pests when you're in the store. Wow, how many tips am I at, girl? All the wisdom. And my last tip, this is also what I talked about, is to choose plants that you can propagate. Propagating means you can cut them off and put them in water, and then they, you can put them in soil too, or you can also put them in perlite, and then they grow new roots, and then you have an individual plant. So I took a cutting off of this monstera, and this is her now. She's a little tilted. That's why I have this thing holding her up, but she had 2 leaves, now she has 3. Excuse the paint, I was painting my ceiling, and I don't know how the paint got there, but I got there. Choose a plant that you can propagate. Most plants you can propagate, and it's easier to propagate them. For example, this one. This is so pretty. It looks so good on camera, and in real life, but this is so cute. It even has like little flowers. I think it's in Transcendentia or something. But it's so pretty. It's like purple, and the more it's in the sun, like the more purple it gets. But you can just cut a part of this off and like remove the leaves and like stick it in water, and then it will regrow all of the roots, and then you have an individual new plant. And if you want to, you can even sell that, girl. Get that coin, get that bag. You can like put them all in a box and propagate them and get that coin. And when you choose a plant that you can propagate, have one of those as a gift for someone else, and then you can like gift somebody a plant and be like, not only are my plants so healthy that they don't die, I can even like make more of them. Like, look at me, I have my life together, and they won't question you at all. You will be that bitch. So propagate a plant, like the video, subscribe, and I think that's it. So see you next time. Bye.